To evaluate the work in my advanced portfolio, I'm going to look at my research and how it's reflected in my products, how I have developed and challenged forms and conventions of real media products, and how my print product and music video work together as one. I will also speak about the technologies that I used during the production. When doing my research, I looked at and analysed many different videos and print products from my chosen genre, folk. I looked at the conventions of all the videos and print products to get a wide understanding of the audience expectations for this style of music. In my music video, I wanted to challenge the conventions, but as I wanted to appeal to the audience, I felt that it was important to follow them as well, as there would be some things which an audience would want and expect. I found that many of the music videos followed Goodwin's theory that there is a link between the music and the visuals. I found this in my research as the music is very calm, so the video matched this. Also, musical instruments being played were often emphasised and shown closely in the video. One of the things that I wanted to include was an acoustic guitar. Although in many of my shots I included the performer with the guitar, I felt that having a close-up of the guitar would emphasise this, and the audience would take to this as it was a convention which was seen a lot in my research. The texture behind at this point also works very well, as it's of the beach, which is very natural, so in the style of music, so therefore satisfying the audience's needs. It is also something that I saw a lot of when looking at videos. I filmed the guitar in the studio with a video camera on a tripod next to a green screen, so that I was able to blend in the background into a grey stroke white, and then use Adobe After Effects to add in the textures, which I filmed using a camera and tripod on the beach, having to change the exposure a lot so that the shot was a good colour with the amount of sun which was been let in. One of Goodwin's theories that I saw a lot of in my research is the way in which there are multiple close-ups of the main artist or vocalist, even like if it's a band. This is something that I really wanted to include in my music video. I have done this well as there are multiple close-ups of him at different points, which makes it more dynamic and interesting for the audience. I did this by having my video camera on the crane in the studio, so I was able to have more movement and gain a wider range of shots. This is also how I filmed The Dancer to get the vast range of shots. This is also included in my print product, as I have used images of my artists that follow the conventions. This is what sells the video, therefore it really needs to appeal to the audience. The main thing that stood out to me in my research was the naturalness. I applied this with my colours. My chosen colours are very plain and natural looking, but they fit the conventions of the genre well. The colours work well together and also give the audience a good feel for the style of music, but still having the main point being the artist, which is why he is stylised so he fits the conventions. The images were taken with the Lumix G3 still camera, so that I was able to get good quality shots that would not lose their quality when edited on Photoshop. One thing that I found when doing research is one of Goodwin's theories that there's a relationship between the lyrics and the visuals, illustrating, amplifying or contradicting the lyrics. This wasn't something that I saw done when in folk music when I was doing my research, but I decided that I'd challenge this because I've got like textures. For example, my fingertips are tapping and then the texture is paper and writing, and candles hit the switch with a candle in the background, which we thought was a really good shot, but at the same time it goes with the lyrics, so it was contradicting what is the normal, so it was slightly radical. Another way that I challenge the conventions of the genre of music video is because I filmed the majority of the music video in the studio using a video camera and the crane. Filming in the studio is not something that's often done with the folk genre. Although it's really challenging the conventions, it works well because of the textures which are added after using Adobe After Effects. Without this, it would have been very bland, but because the audience would still be satisfied with the way it challenges the conventions, it has a detailed, interesting performance with the mix of storyline, including the ending on the beach, which works well as it's leaving the audience with an ending which they can really relate to. For my print product, I did not challenge the conventions as much as I did in the music video. As it's selling the product, it needed to keep the audience satisfied. The way which I did challenge the conventions is by the editing of the poster. The poster has lots of different layers and elements about it, which I edited using multiple layers and skills on Photoshop, which looks more complex than what you would find on a normal fake poster. The poster is very natural and effective, although it's not as simple as one might expect from a fake poster. Overall, I feel my research and planning is reflected in my final outcome with an interesting way of challenging the conventions far enough to make the product interesting, new and different for the audience, but at the same time keeping elements that the audience want, hope for and expect from the print products and the music video. Using Adobe Premiere, After Effects and Photoshop allowed me to show my creativity and experiment with new techniques and media conventions, showing a vast development of skills from my foundation portfolio to my advanced portfolio.